Chair Boomgarden,
Here.
Commissioner Cardoza,
Here.
Commissioner Chapdelaine,
Here.
Commissioner Ripley,
Here.
Commissioner Stevens,
Here.
and Commissioner Ziegenmeier.
Here. All right, please join me in saluting and pledging. Salute and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, welcome to staff, welcome to our guests. First item for our consideration is item number 2, which are the minutes from the last meeting. Entertain a motion.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Cardoza, second by Commissioner Ziegenmeier. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, item number 2 passes unanimously. Item number 3, public comment period. Members of the public are invited to address the commission on any matter of interest to the public that is not on our agenda for a period of time not exceeding 5 minutes. Pursuant to the Brown Act, the commission cannot take any action on items not listed on the posted agenda, but may add to a future agenda matters brought up under public comments for appropriate action at a future meeting. Is there anybody that would like to speak on an item that is not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll go to item number 4, which is our first business item. LAFCO 25-002, the Elmer Ranch West Annexation number 343, and it looks like Mr. Libby is teed up and ready to go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, good to see you today. This item is, as you noted, an annexation. It's located about 130 feet north of the intersection of Long Street and Elmer Avenue. That is, Long Street is right here. Elmer Avenue runs north-south. This proposal is about 4,700 feet from Yuba City's sphere of influence boundary. This is clearly an area of transition. You can see some areas where farming is still occurring. I would call out to you, last year, the commission approved the annexation of the Thiara Estates. You can see bordering this site, there is a number of homes here that have built out. I actually looked in the records, and these homes built out mostly in the 60s. There was a couple of them I think I noted that were built out in the 70s. Parcel sizes range from 0.23 to 0.31 of an acre on the west and south, 0.44 to just over an acre and a third on the north, and on the east side, in this area, we're looking at 0.29 to 2.38 acres. So LAFCO received a landowner petition requesting a change of organization to annex 10.13 acres to the city of Yuba City. And to create a more logical boundary, staff is recommending the annexation be expanded to include the full width of adjacent right-of-way of Elmer Avenue adjoining the annexation. Now, I do need to note this is an updated map than what was released. The map that went out in the noticing showed inadvertently this property, which was part of the proposal, being added. It doesn't need to have that request. It's already part of the proposal. So the area that we're proposing to add is on the east side of the Elmer Avenue right-of-way. We're not proposing to take in additional properties. It's just road right-of-way. The benefit of that is that gives consistency for public works, for maintaining the roadway. Also gives them a greater, I think, a more efficient way of conducting maintenance. Otherwise, they would have to, city would have to go to Sutter County and request an encroachment permit. Now, per state law, cities are allowed to conditionally approve subdivisions before annexations, and that's the Government Code Section 66454. In this case, the city of Yuba City conditionally approved a 55-lot single-family residential subdivision on the boundaries, within the boundaries of the proposal. All city services, that's water, sewer, drainage, would be extended to serve this property. Now, the LAFCO law calls out 17 different areas that must be considered by your commission as part of a proposal. And the 17 are addressed in your staff report on pages 5 through 8. LAFCO has also adopted its own policies, and those are laid out on pages 9 through 12. Now I'm going to go through some of these items, hit the high points with you. So, compliance with applicable plans. Now, Sutter County currently applies a general plan designation of low-density residential, that's 2 to 8 dwelling units per acre, to this property. Since 2004, Yuba City has actually planned its entire sphere of influence and applied the same land use designation. So there's no difference in land use designation between the county and the city for this area. Sutter County does apply zoning of what's called R1A, that's a single-family residential with an agricultural combining district added. Basically, if someone is doing farming, it allows them to farm. It also allows for larger farm animals to be kept on the property. Yuba City has applied pre-annexation zoning of just single-family residential, and the area has been within, not just site, but this whole area has been within Yuba City's sphere of influence since the 1980s. Now, as part of an annexation, we have to look at service changes. In this case, we have in a lot of instances, things aren't changing. No change to the school district. Fire protection is actually already provided by the city of Yuba City through contract through County Service Area G. General government would switch from Sutter County to Yuba City. Law enforcement would switch from the Sheriff's Department to Yuba City Police Department. Off-site drainage and flood control would remain the same. Typically, when you develop in the county, because oftentimes counties are not in the business of urban services, they provide on-site well and on-site septic. Yuba City would provide municipal water and wastewater service. Street lighting would be overseen by Yuba City. You'll see I included both agencies for roads, and that's because even though this area, this site is adjacent to the city and would have some streets that would be street area maintained by Yuba City, the area to the north, the area to the south on Elmer Avenue would continue for this time to be served road service by Sutter County. And no change to garbage service or emergency services. As part of an annexation, tax exchange always comes up. Now you got to keep in mind that this property has historically was developed with an orchard. And so it has values attached to agricultural land. So in this particular case, and I would just tell you that schools receive the majority of the property tax, I think, as you already know. So right now, the county's portion of the property taxes for this parcel is $772. It includes special road tax of $38. Now, the master agreement, we're really lucky. The city and the county have had a master tax exchange agreement in place since the year 2000. So 26 years, that's pretty significant. Under that agreement, the city would receive 100% of the special road property tax, and the city would receive 45% of the base revenue property tax. So it's important to note that the county would still receive 55% of the tax, and that's because Sutter County would still deliver certain services countywide to all residents, even though the property is within the incorporated limits. So when you crunch the numbers, and remember, this is based upon the agricultural use, okay? If the property were to be annexed and if the property were to be developed with those 55 lots, you would see assessed values obviously increase. But for right now, crunching the numbers, Yuba City would get $385 in property tax initially, and Yuba City would continue to receive the tax money generated by County Service Area G that is passed on to the city for fire services, which is $198 for this parcel. Now, compliance with environmental laws. CEQA, that stands for the California Environmental Quality Act. Now, Sutter LAFCO acts as a responsible agency for annexations, which differs from a lead agency. And basically, the reason for that is LAFCO does not have land use control. That is left to the cities, that is left to the county. So in our case as LAFCO, it is very tough for LAFCO to mitigate environmental impacts. So as a result, we take the environmental docket completed by the agency. In this case, City of Yuba City conducted an environmental review for the Elmer West subdivision map and adopted a mitigated negative declaration. Now, the CEQA guidelines tells us that as a responsible agency, we comply with CEQA by considering the city's adopted environmental document, and your commission shall reach its own conclusions regarding potential environmental impacts. Staff is recommending that you accept the environmental document as presented in your staff report and direct staff to file a notice of determination, which that language is included in the proposed resolution. If your commission were to disagree with the determination reached by the city, you do have the authority under LAFCO law to take lead agency status under CEQA and complete a new environmental document. Public notice. It's always important that we involve the public. In this particular case, the LAFCO law tells us that LAFCO is required to provide 21 days public notice, so we do that through publishing an ad in the newspaper. We do so by providing mailed notice to both property owners and registered voters, also 21 days before the meeting. Your commission has adopted a policy which we put up public notification signs. That's actually a picture of the sign out at the property. You would note in your staff report packet that the City of Yuba City provided a letter of support for the annexation. After your staff report packet was released, we did have there were 3 letters of opposition provided, and those were handed out to your commission. We distributed them out to you electronically before the meeting, and we had hard copies in front of you now. We just want to note the letters were received by Jason Smith, 2033 Elmer Avenue, Virginia Smith, 1979 Elmer Avenue, and then Linda Essex, 2051 Elmer Avenue. Now, when you have a proposal that is a single property owner proposal, and they have given consent because they've applied for annexation, there is a mechanism under state law to waive the conducting authority or protest hearing proceedings. Part of this is because there are fewer than 12 registered voters within the annexation area, but also because the property owner has given consent. So state law provides a mechanism, and we have to provide mailed notice to registered voters and landowners, which we did. We have to our mailed notice must disclose the intent to waive the protest hearing, which it did. And written opposition by property owners or registered voters within the annexation area is not received before the conclusion of the public hearing. So the proposed resolution that's before you includes language to waive the protest hearing. So the recommended action: conduct a public hearing and adopt a resolution as laid out in the language on the screen. I would note that if the commission were to take action, I would ask that you make reference to the updated map as provided by staff. And with that, that would conclude my comments. I would note that Sean Menard with MHM Engineering, who represents the landowner, is here to address the commission, as well as the city's Public Works Director, Josh Wolf. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Libby. Before we open it up for public comment, I would ask any of the commissioners if they have any questions of Mr. Libby. Okay.
Just one clarification. You said that Yuba City would receive the 100% of the road tax, and Sutter County would be maintaining some of it also. Just want to get some clarity on that.
Sorry. Under the tax exchange agreement, the city receives 100% of the special road portion of the tax. So in this case, I think it was like $38. But as far as the general property tax, Sutter County retains 55%, Yuba City receives 45%.
I think maybe I could add a little something to that. I think in your explanation, you said that the city was going to be responsible for maintaining that portion of the road that was annexed, but you put city and county because the county was going to be responsible from some north and some south still, not of the annexed property, but of Elmer Road property.
Correct. There's land that's just to the south of here that would still be within the county, and I'm just acknowledging the fact that, hey, when you go from Butte House to this proposal site, the road is in fact maintained by Sutter County.
All right. Not hearing any more questions, at least at this point, from the commissioners. We have 3 speaker cards, Linda Essex, Amos Gates, and Jason Smith. So Linda Essex, please. There's a podium back there. Make sure you hit the button. It'll turn green. And we have 5 minutes for you, up to 5 minutes.
Hi, can you hear me? My name is Linda Essex. I live at 2051 Elmer Avenue. If you approve that street widening, you're taking out almost my whole front yard. All I would be doing is walking out the door to the street. You're taking out 2 of my trees, a bunch of my bushes. You're already taking my side from the side of my house because you're putting houses over there. Now you're putting houses, that sign is right in front of my front door. The sign that your annexation sign. And what am I supposed to do? My lighting, everything is right there. So think about that before you take part of my house.
Thank you for your comments. Next up's Amos Gates.
So according to what this gentleman was saying, I'm really not involved in this, even though this is in my backyard. Nobody on Romero Street is involved according to what he laid out here. You have 15 houses that's going to be, their backyard's going to be the subdivision now, and that's not cool at all. Also, there's nothing been said about traffic control. Traffic on Butte House Road is an absolute nightmare. I've lived there for 31 years. When they built harder, when you built El Royal Rancho, if I go to Butte House Road, Romero Street, as you know, Romero Street's a dead-end road. Sometimes if I don't hit the numbers just right, I'll sit there for 15 to 20 minutes trying to get out. I see nothing about mitigation of traffic flow to begin with. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah, okay. And why was not Romero Street people included into that? You mentioned Elmer Avenue, but you didn't mention Romero Street.
We'll have a chance. Public comment is intended for comment, not question and answer. However, I think that once we get done with public comment, we'll be able to address some of the concerns that are being raised.
Okay.
All right. Jason Smith.
Jason Smith, 2033 Elmer Avenue. I know there's nothing that I can say that'll make anybody change their mind about putting the houses in across the street from my house. I've argued at multiple of these meetings. Nothing changes anybody's minds. What I'm here today to argue is the annexation of the west side, or east side of Elmer, right in front of my house. If there's not really a reason to annex past the road, because there is no public utilities that go through that area. Power is on the side that the new development's going to be on. Telecom is on that side as well as gas. There's no reason to annex further than the edge of the roadway on that. If you annex further than the edge of the roadway and you guys end up putting sidewalks and all that in and take a full easement, like you guys have said that you were going to do, I'll lose half of my front yard. I'll lose a 60-year-old pine tree. Linda will have 10 feet of space between her front door and the edge of whatever that annexation is. So that's really the only comment I have. Thank you.
All right. Any other public comment? All right. We'll bring it back to the board for now. There's a few questions, I'm sure. Mr. Menard, are you speaking in public comment?
I don't care where I speak. I don't, whether you call it public comment or part of the other part.
We'll do under public comment. My error for not calling you up earlier.
I thought you were avoiding me, but Sean Menard with MHM Engineering. I represent the landowner, Interwest Homes, on the property. We've been working on this project, and we also worked on the project to the Tierra Estates was previously annexed. But some of the questions I've heard, first to make it clear, when the project was approved in the city of Yuba City, there is no improvements on the east side of the road in front of these the people that spoke tonight. There's no improvements. The improvements are on our frontage of our frontage only. There is a condition in the map, because it was brought up about traffic, concern about the width of the road, the existing road, which is in Sutter County, all the way down to Butte House Road. So there is a condition in the tentative map to widen that road to 20 feet. Granted, it's like 18 and a half to 20 feet already, but as we're going to widen it, it'll be 20 feet when we're done. One of the improvements that'll be built is a sewer line, happens to be on the west side of the road, all the way from Butte House up to this project. When we're doing that road improvement, when we're done, the road will be at least 20 feet or wider. And right now on the plans, it shows 20 feet. So that's one thing that'll happen. Some of the other questions I heard, yeah, those are the main ones. Like we heard, long time ago, we were doing projects out in the community of Sutter, is, hey, the higher density projects such as this, you should do it within the city sphere. And that's where we've gone. The zoning's correct with this project. The general plan's correct, as Doug pointed out. So we look forward to building this project. We pretty close to have the improvement plans almost are ready to be approved. We submitted the final map, so we're ready to go. We're getting later in the, it seems early in this construction season, but we're getting kind of late. So I can't guarantee it'll go this summer, but it should go the next summer at the latest, so.
Excuse me for a second, Sean. Does that mean, did I hear correctly that you wouldn't be impacting this lady's front yard?
Our improvements are all from the center line of the road to the west. So she's on the east side of the road, so we would, there's going to be some inconvenience from construction activity, of course, but road improvements, there's no road widening on her side of the road at all.
Okay, thank you.
As part of this project. I can't speak in the future.
Any questions for Mr. Menard while we have him? We can bring him back up.
Through the chair.
Yes.
And the same thing with the gentleman. Everything's going to be on the west. His property's not going to be shortened either.
Jason lives right next door, so.
Oh, they're right now. Okay, yeah,
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, they
Okay.
do the same for them both.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Oh, one other thing I heard talk about traffic. There was a traffic study required for the city of Yuba City approvals. They looked at the VMT, which is required for CEQA now. That was addressed. We also looked at some key intersections, and that was all addressed during the approval of the tentative map with the city of Yuba City. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Menard. Questions? All right, I do have a quick question for Mr. Libby in regards to noticing. It's been brought up that maybe noticing didn't go. I know that this has been an item that this commission, with your help and staff's help, has been pretty aggressive on making sure notifications happened.
Yeah, so LAFCO is required to provide a minimum noticing of 300 feet around the perimeter of the proposal to both property owners and registered voters. So that is the notification that was provided.
Thank you. Also, there was questions raised in the letter, and Mr. Smith brought up in regards to power. And can you elaborate on any of that? It's a question I have.
What was the specific?
Thanks.
As part of the project and the improvements we're doing, as Jason mentioned, the power poles are currently on the west side of the road. When we widen the road to put the curb gutter and sidewalk, we have to relocate those power poles. There is a power pole existing on their side of the road, but it will remain overhead. And we're on our side of the road, they'll remain overhead also, but we have to physically move our power pole. So we won't be changing any, they'll remain overhead feed, and our side will remain overhead feed. Inside the subdivision, everything will be underground in accordance with Yuba City's underground policy. I think that might answer the question, I'm not sure.
Yes, please.
So in regards to the power, so from my understanding, there's a public utilities easement on the side of the road that the development is going to be on. There's no public utility easement on our side of the road, mine and Linda's. So would this annexation be allowing the public utilities easement to go onto our side of the road?
not really my avenue, but technically, all of our improvements will have to be within what they call the franchise area, the existing right-of-way, or within the newly established PUE, which we have on our side of the road. The existing pole that's on their side, if we wanted to use it, even though it's been there, served everybody for years, they would have to go, PG&E would have to obtain a PUE, or our client would, or we have to find another avenue to get the power. And that's what we'll work through that to avoid having to do anything on their side of the road. But the facilities will all remain overhead, and the pole will remain in the same location as theirs. But there's no need for a PUE on their side of the road at this time. But there might be a need if, again, PG&E does what they do, and can't speak to what PG&E will make us do, but all of our improvements are on our side.
That pole is currently owned by PG&E.
On theirs?
Yes.
It is a service pole, or it's a transmission pole, then they both serve off it, so it would be a PG&E facility, yes.
Okay, so they must have some right to have that pole in the ground there.
PG&E would,
Yes.
yeah, it's kind of
Understood. Anything else, Mr. Libby? Okay. All right.
Through the chair.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of research on this, spoke with some of the city council members, and this is a plan that's been in place for almost 50 years. 50 years in the making. Take it from me, we have a planned development in Sutter County off of Sutter Point that's been in the making for almost 24 years. In my hometown of Sutter, a couple developments that have been zoned R1 for over 40 years, and they're finally starting development on. As a matter of fact, there's one development right off of Irwin and Perry that used to be zoned R1 for, they could have built 3 houses per acre, and the developer decided, hey, in the community center, I'm going to go to residential ranchettes. So what I'm getting at, these plans are not new plans. These plans have been in place for a long time, and we go to meetings throughout the state, and the one thing we hear about in the city of Yuba City and Sutter County is that you don't have enough homes. Traffic, I believe in traffic studies. We sit up here, we go through meetings, it seems like every other month, and we talk about traffic studies. So we respect the traffic study. That's been done. And like I said, this whole started almost 50 years ago, Doug. And here we are now. So growth is inevitable. But like I said, I believe this is something that's been thought after, talking with the city council members and their directors, that they feel that this is the right project for the right spot. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right. Bring it to the commission for potential action.
I move to approve. You already want me to read the whole thing?
If you're going to make a motion to approve, you just need to include the updated resolution language.
Okay. So that is 4. Right here.
You
To
can
make it simple for you, you can
Yes.
make a motion for the recommended action with the addition of the amended map as presented by staff.
Exactly what he said. We'll just make it quick and sweet.
My second.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Cardoza, second by Commissioner Ziegemeier. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, item number 4 passes. Item number 5, LAFCO fiscal year 2026-2027 final budget.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you recall, we brought forward the preliminary budget to you in March. We noted to you that our intent was to conduct municipal service reviews and sphere of influence updates, not only for cemetery districts, so 5 cemetery districts as well as 8 reclamation districts. We said by completing more reviews at one time, we could see some cost savings. So in March, we shared with you that we would likely have a cost of $120,000. Having some joint meetings, we've been able to reduce that down to $114,865. So a savings of just over $6,100. So that's really the change from the preliminary to the final budget. I would note that other than completing additional reviews, the overall budget's been reduced by 8.6% or $8,400. As part of your staff report, we gave a preliminary distribution of what the cost for the budget, the $30,000 for each category. Sutter County pays 1/3 of LAFCO's budget. There's 1/3 of that budget, which is $30,000 divided between Yuba City and the city of Live Oak. Yuba City typically pays just over 90% of that. And then 1/3 of LAFCO's budget will divide $30,000 up among all the independent special districts. This is just a slide showing the municipal service reviews. You can see the reclamation districts. They haven't had an updated municipal service review since 2011. That's kind of why they're on the hit list. For today, we're asking you to conduct a public hearing and adopt a resolution approving a final budget for fiscal year 2026-27. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Libby. Any questions for Mr. Libby? Any public comment on this? Seeing none, bring it back to the commission for potential action.
I'll move to adopt a resolution approving a final budget for fiscal year 2026-2027.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Chapdelaine. I think the second was by Commissioner Cardoza. Yes. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Item number 5 passes unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Libby. Item number 6, Executive Officer's Report.
Yeah, 2 things to cover with you. First, wanted to give you an update on the municipal service review and sphere of influence update being done for the city of Live Oak. Over the last about week or so, I've been reviewing the administrative draft of the document. That was just, I think, yesterday provided to the city of Live Oak, so they have an opportunity to review and comment, provide input back to LAFCO, and we are hoping to be able to incorporate the changes and come forward to your commission on July 9th with that document as in a public hearing. The other item I just wanted to touch on is, as you know, our longtime commissioner, Larry Munger, passed away, if everyone knows. Larry was actually one of the first supervisors that I had met when I came to work for Sutter County in 2000. He was just a great man. He mild-mannered, he's consistent. He was just a genuinely great human being. I went back through the LAFCO records. I found that he served in capacity of either alternate county member, primary county member on LAFCO, and then, as you know, in later years, he served as a district member from Sutter Cemetery District. So total, he spent 17 years on Sutter LAFCO. So quite a long period of time. And I did want to ask if the commission has similar interest as we did for former Commissioner Cochran to have a memorial paver purchased and in his name at the county museum. And if that's a consensus of the commission, I would return in July to kind of have you ratify my action as the executive officer.
A lot of nods.
Okay, a lot of nods. I have my direction. Thank you. Okay. And then I guess finally, I would just note that we have a vacancy now as a district member and an alternate district member. So I'm going to be going out for recruitment to the districts. If you know anyone who sits on an independent special districts who may want to serve on LAFCO, please help get the word out. I'll be sending notification to all the districts.
Yeah, through the chair. I believe with the new, because there's going to be opening at Sutter Cemetery, I'll ask our fellow committee member, Robert Ripley, is that open now? Or has that been filled already?
That's the Community Services District. We're going to have an opening in about a month, 2 months.
About a month, because I know a couple individuals, they're going to apply for that.
We haven't heard from anybody yet.
That position, and then they'll, of course, want to apply for this position.
Yeah. So I'll try to provide enough time for, people to get the information, get it onto their agendas, and be able to take action. So it's going to be a kind of a little process, but hopefully, we'll want to fill both of those 2 vacancies. So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for a report. Item number 7, Commissioner reports and announcements. Mr. Cardoza?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, board members, we are having professional bull riding at the Yuba Sutter Fairgrounds this Sunday. The first time in the Yuba Sutter area that we've had professional rodeo in our community. Just want to mention that. The gates open at 2:30, and there's going to be 40 professional bull riders that are coming from all across the nation. It's just a nationwide organization. All the points and stuff go towards the big grand ceremony here in a few more months. There's going to be food trucks for food. We have refreshments that you can purchase, and it's going to be a great time. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Ripley? Okay. Commissioner Stevens? Commissioner Chapdelaine? Commissioner Ziegemeier?
One thing, so like I said, we talked about Supervisor Larry Munger. I want to say a story because I think it's funny. When I was first elected supervisor, my first complaint came from Larry Munger, asking me why his ditch wasn't cleaned up in front of his house. And he laughed at that. And so, like I said, he's got that walnut orchard on the north side of him. So we always made sure his ditch was cleaned up first. But one thing I'm working on right now, and I was speaking with Ryan Reynolds, head football coach, Sutter High School. So for those that you know, that Larry has he's been on the sidelines forever, along with his sons, John and Danny. And I'm hoping to raise enough money to purchase some new yard marker signs, the sticks that will, in memory of Larry Munger, and have them on there. I think that he did it forever. He loved it, especially watching Brock, and Trevor play, watching his other grandsons play, you know what I mean? He loved Sutter High School sports, especially baseball. I mean, today's the second, we play Woodland today at 4, so he would have been at the game, even with no grandkids playing right now. But like I said, if you have any organizations out there, we're trying to get it figured out. But like I said, Ryan Reynolds said, absolutely, we could, if you get it figured out, Mike, he's like, we'll run with it, so.
Thanks for sharing. That's good stuff. I'd be happy to help donate. Larry Munger and I became aware of each other when I was the fire chief here in Yuba City, and we were in a rather contentious merger/acquisition of the Walton Fire Protection District, and it got nasty at times. And I always looked at Larry Munger as being the statesman. He was just really. Not only was he politically astute, but he was just a calm in a sea of sometimes rocky waters. And it was my honor and privilege when I got to serve on LAFCO with him over these past few years. His loss is a loss to the community, but he leaves a fantastic legacy and a lot of really good things that he did for the community. And with that, then I'd like to go ahead and adjourn this meeting of LAFCO in his memory.
Thank you.